Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. Teresa's back. She's got hay fever, so she's going to be snotty. First of all, welcome back, T.
Thank you. I'm sorry. This is
Yeah, what is it? Is it hay fever? Is it a cold? What's going on?
No, it's hay fever. I mean, I've been traveling around, but there's also pollen everywhere.
Right.
So it's hay fever.
Blame it on the pollen.
Yes.
We have to talk about merch for a sec because Hugo pointed out just before we started that you're not wearing an Arc'teryx or an EpicTV merch shirt, but
I am.
That is Arc'teryx, right?
This is Arc'teryx. It has a very subtle logo down here somewhere.
Nice.
It's very subtle, but also super stretchy and comfortable. And I kind of like it that it doesn't have a big logo on it.
It's great,
That's not
but
true.
if you do want big logos, you do need to check out the EpicTV merch because we've got new 9B counter t-shirts, we've got t-shirts, we've got caps, we've got everything. I'll stick a link down below.
We got some new merch out today. Oh, y'all super duper dope, Shauna monkeys. Yeah, and we got some really cool stuff. Super cool.
So that's the 9B counter merch. T, how is your plan to get pro climber signatures during World Cups going for that t-shirt?
Good. We have a World Cup coming up in Chamonix on the 13th, 14th of July. You should know this.
I should know this.
But yeah, I'm planning on running around with like multiple 9B counter t-shirts of different sizes to get them all set.
There you go, pro climbers of the world. Watch out in Chamonix. She's coming for you.
First news story of the day is a first female ascent. Sasha Digiulian became the first female to climb Logical Progression, a 28-pitch route on El Gigante in Mexico. The wall is taller than El Cap and the grade of the route goes up to 513. It took her a total of 6 days to complete the route. After 16 months of multiple hip surgeries, this ascent marks her comeback to hard sport climbing. Awesome to see her back. I mean, just 16 months after all those surgeries.
Yeah.
Like your hips.
Like 5 surgeries she had?
In total, I think it's 5 over the years,
Yeah,
but the 2 recent ones was like a total reconstructive hip thing.
Yeah, no, it is awesome to see her back and sending hard again. And like, imagine, like, if I was coming back from hip surgery, right? How many pitches? 28, you said?
28 over 6 days.
I would not want to be on a wall for that many days having had hip surgery. So fair play, Sasha. Now, I'm shouting about traddy news because it's been a traddy time recently. British climber James Taylor has made the first ascent of the difficult and dangerous E10 7A he's calling Prisoners of the Sun. This was reported by Planet Mountain. It's located in Anglesey in North Wales in the UK. The route represents one of the hardest trad climbs in the country and has difficulties around French Sport 8B, with ground fall potential from the crux. It's taken James 3 years of preparation to climb it, and he sent it free on his 3rd attempt. Heck of a route that. Sounds pretty spicy. Hard climbing. Like, it blows my mind when I think like French 8B, I think I said it was.
8B, 8B plus?
Yeah, 8B, 8B plus. Like, that's an 8B, yeah. Like 8B with ground fall potential from the crux just blows my mind.
Did he have crash pads?
No, because it's like the crux is high up.
Oh,
where there's
okay,
just no
right.
gear in the middle bit. So if you binned it off the crux, he's likely to hit the ground.
Okay, you also said something about 3 attempts over 3 years.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because he was like, he's only tried it 3 times, but I think he's been preparing for it. He's been training, mentally getting his head around it. And then I think he only really gave it 3 proper burns on like lead.
Oh, so he didn't count like top roping it?
I don't know if he did. It's hard to say, but it just said that he's been kind of doing it, thinking about it for 3 years, 3 sends of it, but you obviously don't want to drop it. So, like,
No.
I can't imagine the first 2, what happened there. James, I hope your legs are all right. But yeah, nice one, mate. Well done.
I'm moving on to some bouldering news from the US. Daniel Woods, fresh from his recent ascent of Return of the Sleepwalker, V17, now made the 3rd ascent of Grand Illusion, 8C+, or V16. The boulder starts at the back of a cave, and Daniel describes it as compression moves on granite pinches, which lead into a bicep blaster undercling section, followed by an intense right-hand Gaston move into a left-hand undercling. After all this build-up, you have the crux move at the end.
Come on! Ooh!
It took him a total of 20 sessions to stick that crux move. So Daniel, I think, made it clear on his Instagram post that for him this is a V16, because there was definitely some question, I guess, about the grade, where to give it like a sport grade or a bouldering grade just because it's so long.
Okay.
But I mean, it makes sense, like, because he said it's V15 of like hard, intense moves until the Crocs move, which is like super sleepy and all of that.
There's a very good mellow video
Yes.
of Nathaniel and Drew
Yes.
working that route, which is it just shows you how long it is. Like, yeah, it always blows me away because you know how much I hate endurance, right?
Yes.
Yes, all the time. It's like interesting when I see a boulder problem with endurance in it because it makes me feel more sick than a sport route. Like a sport route, I watch the endurance and I'm like, I can never do that. A boulder, you're just like, how?
But it's like you work it differently, I suppose, because I
Yeah.
don't know, more moves, but then 1 meter off the ground, 1,000 crash pads.
But then
Like-
it's so intense you can't try it that many times. You know what I mean? Like stretch
But you try it in
skin.
sections, so like a
Yeah.
route, but without all the faff of quick draws.
That's true. It still just makes me feel sick. I just don't want to be that pumped. Just me. Nice one, guys. I've got some big mountaineering news now from Nepal. Marek Holek and Radoslav Gro have climbed a new route in the Khumbu region of Nepal, as reported by Planet Mountain. The route is called Heavenly Trap and is on the west face of Barunsi. They had planned to spend 6 days on the mountain, but ended up there for 10 days due to the hard climbing and bad conditions. They think this is the hardest route they've ever done in the mountains and ended up being airlifted off the mountain close to the bottom due to unstable snow conditions. There's a very good write-up on the expedition on Planet Mountain, so check that out. This is a good read. Go onto Planet Mountain and read the description there because it is a cool sounding route, very, very hard. It sounded like the conditions were awful. Yeah, they got airlifted off the last day. They sort of woke up on the final bivvy and I think they were just on these slopes down to the glacier. All felt very unstable, very scary. It was going to go on them, so they had to get out of there on a helicopter. But what a route.
So did they put up the route and then coming back down? That
Exactly, on like
happened?
the final day. They were
Okay.
basically down, but like, there was just too much snow.
Does
apparently,
it
on the thing.
count? I feel that's an easy way out. There's nothing easy about that, I realize.
No.
But still.
I mean, they were 10 days up there. It's like, I think they could see base camp. It's just where
Okay.
they were was like the slopes were unstable.
Yeah.
So it was just like death, basically.
Okay.
They'd run out of food. It was up there for 10 days. So I think
Yes.
that was the only way. It was a bit weird. Read the write-up and it makes more sense than me saying it, if that makes sense.
I'll read it. You summed it up though. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
My last bit of news, it's not the last bit of news because there's a whole 9A roundup, but Shauna Coxsey announced her retirement from competition climbing. As reported on UK Climbing, Shauna Coxsey has announced that she'll be retiring from competition climbing after the Tokyo 2021 Olympic Games. Her decade-long career has earned her 30 podium places, of which 11 were gold medals. In recent years, due to several injuries, she didn't compete that much. However, in 2019, at the IFSC Climbing World Championships in Hachioji, she qualified for the Olympics by getting the bronze medal at the combined event. That's sad news. I mean, retirement.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming as well. Like, because she'd obviously been competing in World Cups, building up to the Olympics. Like, she's just such a legend.
Yeah.
So good for British climbing. Like, I remember when I was coming up in British climbing walls and stuff, she was an inspiration to me. She's won everything there is to win. So strong.
Not the Olympics, that's why she's competing at the Olympics.
Exactly. Go Shauna for the Olympics. Go out, as you say, with a huge bang.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you've done for climbing, generally.
But she said she wants to move on to, more outdoor climbing. So, that's,
Which is gonna
that's
be-
more exciting for us, I suppose, in the end.
Exactly. And you I think Shauna's like, she's been around forever. She's 27, 26,
28.
28.
Age doesn't matter in climbing.
No, exactly. But imagine how much climbing she's got ahead of her. Like,
Yeah.
even if you just take 10 years of outdoor climbing, which we know is less intense, perhaps,
Yeah.
in competition climbing if she's injured, she could do massive things. So I can't wait to see what she's got up her sleeve next. We have an enormous 9A roundup, don't we?
We do. But they're all very exciting and interesting 9As. So here's the 9A roundup. As reported on planetmountain.com, Swiss mountain guide Jonas Schild has climbed Banc de Sang, a ascent loop in Switzerland. The peculiarity of this 9A is that it's an extremely technical slab, and it was first climbed by Fred Nicole in 1993.
Will Bosey has climbed Northern Lights, a 9A in Kilnsey in the UK. He was belayed by the legend Ben Moon, who also bolted the route.
As reported on 8A.nu, Dylan Barks has climbed Arrested Development on his second go. He suggests a personal grade of 8C+.
Ethan Pringle, Connor Herson, and Keenan Takahashi have sent Empath, a 9A in Tahoe in America. This was reported by 8A.nu. It's described as one of the best 9As around, and we've seen some big names lining up to send it after Carlo Traversi opened the route last year.
Now Monchois just climbed Pornography, a 9A in Seyouz. First climbed by Alex Megas last summer.
Pierre Le Cerf has climbed a first ascent in Gorge de Loup. The route is 32 meters long and it's an extension to a previous line. He sent it on his first go on the first proper dry day.
Belgian climber Thomas Salakinos made the first ascent of Tatanka, proposing the grade of 9A and saying this is the hardest route he's ever climbed.
Whew, that was a heck of a 9A roundup, but some very cool routes going down there.
Indeed, pornography.
Yes, I always give you the weird names to say, don't I?
Yes, thank you for that. But I actually saw him try it.
Really?
And well, yes, I think there were a lot of like French youngsters trying this route. And it was really interesting to hear all their screams.
When you in Say Eustace
yes.
was? Okay, fine. Fair enough. That makes sense. Let's move on. I always say that. Move on.
Move on.
9B counter. First of all, big up Dave. Dave was on the comments, we think, last week.
I saw him. He says hi, basically.
I feel like you're his sort of manager at this point.
I do reply to emails and forward them, and then save his PDFs into JPEGs, so that's easier for Flo to edit.
You are indeed his manager. Can you get his address so I can send him some merch?
Matt, I forwarded you that email.
Did you?
Yes.
When?
Anyway, Dave, thank you so much. Thank you for the updated 8C plus counter with Daniel Woods on it again.
What about E10 though? Because E10 we were missing last week. Dave, sort it out, geez. I mean, I can't send you free. I'm sorry. I love Dave. Dave is doing our counters. We always bang on about Dave. We'll have an interview soon. But we've got that E10 I chatted about today. What was it? Oh my gosh, what was the name of it? The Prisoners of the Sun. That's on there. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And Daniels.
Daniels.
So 2 counters.
Boom.
Shop stuff, and there's a new shoe on the scene. That was a lot of S's. But yeah, new Scarpa Chimera.
Lace-up version, right?
Lace-up version. And I got no idea if there was a Velcro version before it.
That's a good question. I can't remember. But this is meant to be like the softest sort of sport climbing shoe. I can't wait to try it. I think we're getting it as well. I think. Fingers crossed.
Test it out?
Yeah, we should be.
Okay.
I think. So we'll be telling you about that very soon. But basically, the deal with that is you're watching it on Wednesday. You can now pre-order the shoe. So you can just get in there before anyone else does and get it. On Friday, you can buy it straight. So we do think it's going to go pretty quick, this thing. It's high-end new shoe. So if I were you, pre-order it.
Also because of that Johnny Dawes.
I think he's in the
video.
old one.
Oh.
But
they look sleek, though.
They
so
do.
if there's a new version of that, ooh.
I want it. And it's blue, so I'm down.
Why does that matter?
Definitely matter. I'm sorry. This morning I came out of my house in a grey t-shirt, picked tea up, and what did you tell me to do?
I was like, no, go back up and go change.
Because the colours weren't right. See? Colour is important. Content stuff now. Siriana, place I haven't been. Have you been?
I've been in winter 2019.
Okay.
18. Anyway, there's a new destination guide coming out on the EpicTV channel about Sirana.
Sirana became a world-class destination because 3 important things: the weather, the social or political stability, and the access. Quality of the rock and the routes are important, but the most important is also because in very small place you have about 2,000 routes bolted.
Matt, you should go because it really is like your type of climbing. Crimps, long routes, or very short routes at a sector called Olla.
Very short routes is what I'm all about. And if I was going, you know what I'd do? Is I'd pick up some 27 Crags card gifty thingy on the EpicTV shop. It's cheaper than the guidebook. It's got all that area covered. Obviously, we did that destination guide with 27 Crags, so they know their stuff. Grab that if you need it. Oh, it's me. Yes, big walling stuff, right? This is one of those things, big walling, that there's a load of skills you need to learn. You kind of need to learn the skills before you go up on the wall. We've been doing a series on the main EpicTV channel about big walling. I think this is a Portaledge one. Check out this teaser.
There are no real big walls in our region, but to be honest, I'm quite happy to start with something easy on my first Portaledge trip. Everything I really need in the wall, like a bit of water and a hoodie, I carry in a little backpack. All the rest goes into the whole bag.
And then I think we're just gonna bring a lot of water. The most important thing is to just put everything in the perfect place while you're still on the ground, because right now we're able to move around our stuff, and once we're at the wall we're not able to move anything. So plan everything in the beginning and pack everything perfectly so that you don't need to think in the wall, think on the ground.
That series is cool. I like
It
that
is
series.
cool because it has Nick in it. Is it Nick? Glattard.
Yes, Yannick Glattard. Nick? Who is Nick?
Nick.
Unbelievable. I love
Did I just
Yannick.
give him
You
a
know,
surname?
he's such my man crush is Yannick. As like a mountain guide, but I just love Yannick Glattard. So yeah, go and check out that series.
If you want to learn how to big wall, which is really complicated, FYI.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
all about
it's-
bouldering.
There's so much gear, which is amazing, but then big walling in itself, it's just.
That's my voice. I'm so sorry. Inception. Let's do.
What are you watching?
Well, I was trying to find comment of the week.
Oh, I
but
haven't
couldn't-
found mine. Can we cut to something funny and then come back with comments of
We
the
need
week?
to do a song. Have you got a song? I haven't got a song.
I haven't got a song.
Guys, you need to send your comic of the week songs. Email climb@epictv.com. DM us. Look, the reason you guys need to send in your comic of the week song is so Terry doesn't get embarrassed and doesn't have to do it. Now she's going to be embarrassed and sing. This is awful. I'm just going to start singing. Go with it. Vibe with me. Flow with me. You ready? Comment
of the week.
I thought you weren't with me. I had my eyes shut, and then at the last moment you brought in the harmonies. Boom. Magic.
It's a hay fever up there in the nose that, makes it go all.
Gross. I haven't
Yes.
found comment of the week. Can you go first? Because I haven't got mine yet.
But I haven't. That's why I said let's cut and come back to comment of the
Oh
week.
gosh, Flo, put something in. Sorry about that. We were unprepared, as per usual, really. But my comment of the week, my one is from. Wait, I lost it. God.
Oh.
Yes, from Aljo Suter, and he says Matt is right. There are sliding doors on Star Wars. Me and Hugo had a big Star Wars debate. He was kind of like propping up Star Trek. I was down to Star Wars. We were talking about slidey doors, and I was like, "There's definitely those doors that go, you know."
Don't they have spinny ones around from like cabin to? Is it called
Terry,
cabin?
have you ever seen Star Wars? Have you seen any of them? One of them?
I've seen clips.
That's disgusting. Like, you're working for Epic TV now. You need the Star Wars references.
That wasn't in my contract.
That's fair enough. That's my comment of the week, though. What's yours?
My comment of the week is from Golden Goat. And he says, can you really say that he skipped bolts when he never was going to use them?
This is about the 8B trad.
That was a sport route.
Yeah, and we titled it Skipping the Bolts on A.
Yeah. I mean, personal choice.
He still skipped him, though, didn't he? Like, fundamentally, that man skipped the bolts. He did not
Why
use
didn't he
them.
just clip the bolts and put in trad gear? Because I feel...
It's going to be the safest route in the world. It's like,
No, but think about it. Like, it's a sport route, so you get, that sport grade ticked or whatever, because then doing it on trad, it's more difficult. However, you're super safe, and if you do fall, and you fall on a cam or a nut or other things you put into the wall to be trad, it's technically a trad route, right?
So what you're saying is, if let's say I sent an 8A sport route, right, but I placed one small nut at the very beginning, could I call that like an E8 trad send?
No, I feel the nut should be on the crux or something.
Okay.
So that it counts as a trad thing. Because if that piece ripped, you're still on a bolt, and that makes it safe.
This is quite cool. So we can make up a rule. So it's kind of like dangerous bit you have to protect. It's basically like a death game rules.
No, it's a death to safety one. Because like trad is like dangerous sometimes.
Yeah.
But then, bolts are in the wall already.
There's potential for this, potential. Terry, you work on your ideas, formulate it, bring it in, some blue sky thinking, all the rest. Next week, we'll bring it together.
Okay.
Okay. Are we done?
I think so. Yes. Next week's show will be different.
It will be different. I'm on the road. Hugo's on the road next week, so I think you'll see us coming from Innsbruck. We'll see about that. Thank you for watching. In the meantime, Podcats, hello. Subscribe to the channel, and some of us in some form. We'll see you next week.